try to put my life together in a book. It's kind of hard because I just did so many things in my life. But I like to start where this one particular day on October the 29th, 1989, I had no purpose. I was a dead man walking. I didn't care about nobody. I didn't care about living. And I stood there in a maximum security prison cell with a white sheet going through my fingertips. And I was about ready to commit suicide. And a fleeing thought just came to me, and it was my mom. And all I could think about her was in a welfare line, collecting cheese, and making one little speech to me before she died in my arms from cancer. And that was, "Bam, bam, be good." That still wasn't enough. I guess God made my little son come to my eyes, and I seen him growing up to become one of those thugs and gangsters that I thought I was in my neighborhood. And I dropped down, I begged God, please, if you would give me another chance and allow me to go back to my martial arts. I swear to you, I will never, ever abandon you again. You gave me everything since the age of 17. Mr. Coquinez taught me in a classroom on a blackboard. I was the littlest kid, and amongst all the board of directors, Mr. Kovar, Mr. LaValle, my instructor, Master Brown, demonstrating, but I took it all for granted. And when God answered my prayers, I decided to jump up in that prison cell, and I began to do push-ups and kicks every day. I began to go to the library and read every book. I don't care what it was, anything that dealt with self-empowerment, I did, because I didn't need the answers. It was already inside of me. I just didn't use them. And on that day when they released me out of jail with $20, a dream, and a vision, and believing in the unseen, I was committed to go back and get my son and relive my dreams. That 6-year-old kid who promised that he would do martial arts so he can get his mother out the projects. When I got on that bus and I stopped there in D.C. and I called my instructor, every time I look, when I caught my instructor, the greatest person in this whole wide world, Master Brown, after all I did to him, he said, "Come and live with me, Bam Bam." And I said, "No, sir, I need to live by myself. I need to check in a shelter, and I need to live on the street so I can make this dream come true." And I checked in the shelter, I got a job, and I ran to Washington Monument every day, and I worked out every day. And my instructor brought me back in the school, and the school grew. And from that, every dream I had as a little kid, from being in movies and getting my son, anything that I dreamt about as a 6-year-old manifests into reality. My school prospered in EFC at the top of the all-star list. But because of me, sometimes our worst enemy is ourself. I begin to have self-doubt. I begin to question myself. I begin to live based on my ego. And I believe we took a drop in EFC. And even if you look in the all-star book now, you see it's like right there around 10. But it doesn't matter because I know what my purpose is. I know what my family, as John said, look at what your weakness is. My weakness is myself. And all I got to do is look and believe and crack down and begin to go in my school and know that my purpose is to make sure each and every last one of those little kids coming at school, they don't be the person I used to be. They don't have self-doubt. I make them parents feel happy, feel joyful, and remember that if I don't give what I learned from my instructor and from Mr. Coquinez right there, if I don't give it back and keep giving it back, my school will never grow. Today, I know that I'm wealthy. I don't need money or nothing like that to make me happy because all that wealth is right there inside. What I need to do is show that every time I open up the doors. And thanks to my instructor, he has given me the strength and the power to be able to do that, and Mr. John Coquinez. So I know today what my purpose is. And as John reminds me all the time, what is your purpose? And my purpose is to give back. And I guess as I put this mic down, look inside yourself. Ask what your purpose is. What excuse do you really have? Anybody in there says the economy or whatever, it ain't the economy. What excuse do you have? I was in a prison cell ready to give up. And I dig down inside myself, and everywhere from Miss Joyce Santa Maria, Mr. Deaton, everybody right there to stand up here. This is kind of like my testimony to say thank you, Master Ernie, Master Tony Thompson, everybody in this room, Master Doyen over there, and Mr. LaValle. Without you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And it's my duty to continue on and make my school a success by making every little kid. I think I say this for myself, to make sure no kid ever be like the person I used to be. And for that, that's the greatest thing that martial arts has taught me. So thank you. That respect,
the way I love people, the way I treat people, the unity of trying to bring people back together. You know, that all comes from my parents. That's who they were. One thing people got to remember, even though people came up in the hood, and this is a crazy thing, when people say, yeah, I came up in the hood, I had it hard, the one thing that we had back then was love. The one thing that we had was caring, respect, all those things that are missing in society today. So my mission in life is to take those tools that was instilled in me from my own parents and instill it in my own students. I didn't learn that in martial arts. I know everybody might say it, and I might get in trouble for that. But wasn't nobody talking about no discipline, no respect in martial arts. When I came up into martial arts, come on, man, some of that stuff was abuse. Some of that stuff was like cult following and all that stuff, man. When I came home from jail, that was the other thing that everybody got to recognize. I said, when I come back, I ain't going to be enslaved by no master. I don't care what you say. I don't care what title you got. I don't care what country you come from. You ain't no better than me. You just happen to be specialized in a specific art. But the truth of the matter is, come on, man, Bruce Lee say it. Come on, man. How can somebody take away your freedom of expression? Nah, man. Everything that I do is about showing self-love, self-respect, and even if you claim to be a master of whatever, if you show no respect, you don't deserve to be respected. Go to the streets and try to do that. That's just the other side of me, because some people abuse that in the martial arts, man. My parents showed me that, no, you go in that dojo, you show them kids how to look at you in the eye, talk to you in the eye, show respect, pay attention, do all the things that my dad always told me. I don't care if he was drunk or not drunk. He said, always say thank you. And I say to every kid, always say thank you. Cover your mouth when you yawn. Things like that's missing in our society. I'm on a mission to make sure that when you come to our school, you're going to represent all those things that I came up with in the hood. I'll say it to you again, in the hood.
In our classroom, at the start of every class, we do a student's creed, but we also ask every student, how do you feel? And their response is, super good and getting better, sir. Oh, yeah. And you know why we do that? Because we want you to always think about being positive, quoting those positive affirmations each and every class. Because the dojo is a sacred place. It's an important place. It is the place where we come to, and all the egos, all the negativity of the world, whatever's going on outside those doors, we leave them there. We check out ego at the door, and we come in with an open mind. And we come and begin to learn how to change our lives, how to change our communities, and how to inspire our families. That's what the dojo is all about. And you know what the real dojo is? Where is the real dojo? It's in here. We want to bring you the principles and the concepts so we can make sure you remember the most important dojo in the world is inside of you. And that makes you the most important person in the world.
You know, that principles and values that you represent, that's what's lost. I mean, and if we don't get that back, you can forget the art's changing.
Well, it's just sadly, it's a lot of people start the art as insecure human beings. Most of us. I think most of us.
Put my head up.
Right.
Yeah.
But now, with power comes corruption.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And you wind up becoming the same person that you were when you started, because now there's no checks and balances. You're not answering to anybody. Now your ego's free to just, fly.
Right.
That's what happens. That's why we got so many, grandmasters and 12-year-old fourth degree black belts, like that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's like, okay, I almost feel like, okay, maybe you should call this something else. Maybe it shouldn't be called karate, or maybe you should give it another name and call it something. But I mean, it's